Hello, and welcome to the State of Decay 2 stream at Undead Labs. I am kind of a host. I don't know. I'm somebody. I'm Jeffrey Card. Hi. Nice to see you guys. And over here, we got Brant Fitzgerald.
Hello.
So, what's going on right now? Right now, it is like a day and a half from the launch of State of Decay 2, and we are actually, there's streamers all over the world right now who have early copies of the game, who are streaming it on Twitch and Mixer and wherever your other streams are. And for the first time, we're actually going to get to stream an actual build of the game. So anyway, welcome to everybody in both of our chats. We're watching the Twitch and Mixer chats, and they're both moving quick, and we're gonna have a hard time keeping up with you guys. But that's okay, because we got a lot of fun stuff to do here. So why don't we switch to the actual game? That's kind of loud in my ears. Hold on a second. I'm gonna turn down got a little volume control here if that's bugging you.
I don't even know.
Oh yeah, he's like, my ears don't work. I'm an old man. So right here, we're playing on my account from home, and so I've got one open save slot that we can use, and so we're starting a brand new game. So we're not going to play through the tutorial this time around because everyone's seen the tutorial now. Every streamer started with the tutorial.
Yeah.
So we're skipping that, and we're going to. Oh man, we can't really see the very. Oh, it's just the word traits we can't see under our faces.
Yeah.
But so this is the community creation screen when you start a new game and you're skipping the tutorial. So here it looks like the characters we've got already are Porfirio Pena, Amberly Oliver, and Julian Chahal, who goes by Jules. And so when you're starting a brand new community, one of the biggest things you want to look at is that fifth skill at the bottom of each of their lists. You want to get people who either have valuable skills to get your community up and running, or who have open spaces where you can install whatever skill you want after you get out to the world and get some skill books.
Right.
So do we want to start cycling through these guys? See if we
because I'm going to get rid of the taxidermist and city council member because...
that sounds kind of creepy, doesn't it?
Yeah. See you later. Now we've got somebody new.
Okay, so now her name is Hannah Ma. She's a former model and makes prize-winning chili. So she's a really good cook.
So
that's not too bad to have around the community.
She's in.
Yeah, no, she's got high stars in cardio, so she's about to level up her cardio. So that's pretty cool.
Let's take a look at the fanfic.
Fanfic writer and brush clearer, who was short as a kid. Okay, yeah, no.
She does have an open spot though, and she's good at fighting because she was a brush clearer.
Yeah, oh, that's true. She's good at swinging that brush axe.
So she's a maybe. And then
he's a whittler, so he's
Porfirio,
good at craftsmanship.
He's got cardio
because of his paper route when he was a kid.
That's right.
So craftsmanship is pretty valuable. He can build stuff faster. He can. I think that eventually gives you the ability to affect repairing weapons and stuff like that.
All right. So I'm gonna switch out Amberley here.
Yeah, let's see what she can be. So, we got. Oh wow, this guy's Brazilian. Nice. He's an assistant principal. He's strong. He doesn't have any fighting or shooting skills.
Yeah, sorry. There we
go.
Whoa,
okay, mechanic. He grew up around cars. He's cheerful. That means he's not going to be getting into fights with his
Thankfully.
Things. And then he's got rough hands, which anyone who grew up around cars is going to end up with rough hands. So okay, so do we?
This is what I imagine Takuro's spirit looks like right now.
So are we? Are we? So craftsmanship and mechanics are valuable. Cooking is a little bit less so. And I don't know. Do you want to keep seeing some of the variety?
Yep, let's keep looking.
So okay, a gardener that's really important.
Very.
This is Hayden's Secon, and
Hayden's in. He's in for sure.
He talks to plants, and he always kept moving when he was before he joined the community. So that means his cardio is really high. So that'll be valuable.
Ablative, be nice.
So check out Sandy though. I just realized Sandy has no other skills besides mechanics. I mean, that's fine. We can build those up ourselves, right? We can just if we start with him, he's gonna be rough at first.
Goodbye, Alexander Ramos.
Okay. So here's Ava Verk. She's a sales associate who rescued a puppy and has nightmares. Oh my gosh, she is the sweetest. She's the sweetest person. Oh wow! Can we let Ava just disappear into the ether? I don't know if we can.
I don't know. Ava Plus, she's got the sweet hoodie. I think Ava gets to stay.
Okay, yeah. So Let's question our choices with Porfirio.
Yeah,
Let's
sorry,
see,
Porfirio.
Let's see if there's something better.
Diego.
Into Ultimate Frisbee, and he minored in chemistry. Ooh, he can make us some bombs.
I think we found it.
Okay, you think maybe this is our crew?
I think this is our crew.
Okay, let's go. Let's get into the game then. So,
Yes,
yep.
let's start the community.
Yep, we're serious. So, Geek Domo asks, are these procedurally generated traits? So, the traits were all created. Like, each of those traits, we made them ourselves and designed what their story was, what they said about the character.
Oh, Jeffrey, you did
what they
it
did.
to me.
Oh, do I have my... Brett's got to change my controls. But which traits get assigned to which person and what combination, that is all procedurally done. There's a elaborate set of rules about how that stuff can work. So, okay, so we got to go claim our first base, right?
I'm gonna take a look at the trunk because it's
Oh.
always good to check out trunks of cars
Yeah, that's true.
because they also get spawned sometimes with useful things in them. So right now, anytime you start a game, your first order of biz is to find a place to live, unless you do. No, wait.
Yeah.
No, you have to.
no matter
every
what,
time.
you always need to find a place to live. And up front, when you don't really have any influence, you haven't been playing the game very long. Basically, the little suburban house in each map is kind of where you need to start. And so we got each of the houses is a little bit different from each other, but mostly in subtle ways. Like a starter base is a starter base, and you get to move on to the more advanced, interesting bases later on in the game.
Yeah, there's the starter homes in all three maps are based off the same house skeleton. Each one is a unique art setup. But yeah, like Jeffrey said, they all start off with the same set of basic, stuff. But there's are we saying how many bases we're having?
I think that's not a. I think that actually
the game is out there in the wild.
Yeah,
now.
Datitude on Discord has actually got basically his own little wiki page where he's listed every single base we've revealed, and
So we won't name them all, but there's 21 bases spread across 3 maps, and 85% of them are unique, right? They're one-offs.
yeah. So it's a lot of variety to discover.
Yeah.
Alfred Ben is asking on Twitch is asking, do you have to go to the starter house, and how soon can you switch from it? There might be other bases that have low enough qualifications for you to do prerequisites to grab early on in the game. Oh wow, you guys are getting chased.
Stay away from Ava.
But yeah, getting into the starter base is usually, you begin the game really close to it. Having a base is really important. I would say just always claim the starter base. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just super cheap.
Yeah.
And then once you're based there, go ahead and start looking. Really, how long it takes to get to another base really just depends on how big how big of a base you want. Because larger bases require more people and more influence, and it takes time to collect people and influence.
I think this is really a really good time to mention the importance of influence now, and getting influence by playing with your friends.
Oh yeah, actually, we had somebody ask on Mixer, if we got safeguards in place to keep people from getting too much influence from playing multiplayer, and really we're not. If you want to get as much influence as you want that way, go for it. We kind of it's a little bit no holds barred there.
I don't want to make a lot of noise, so I'm going to go around. Because one of the benefits of this particular style of construction was that they never finished the glass doors.
Nice.
We could live here.
That reminds me of my house so much. True Vulgarian just read the graffiti on the outer wall. He's like, bullies are the only cure?
Yes, because
It said bullets. Bullets are the only cure. But, sometimes you want to get somebody who's a nice warlord to run your community. Sometimes a bully is the only cure that you're looking for.
So I'm walking through and checking every room because you have to clear the rooms, make sure there's nothing in here. You have to know what's here, and then once I get to that point, it says I've explored most of the areas. I
think this one's got the outdoor garage you got to check out.
This has an outdoor garage.
Yeah, this one's a little bit weird. Most bases don't have something like this, but this particular base has got the outdoor garage.
Yeah.
You got to look in.
So I'm gonna walk over here and check on this.
Yeah.
And then it'll tell me up here in the left top left, it says
I can't see it behind me, unfortunately. But I could. Here, we can get me.
up in the
make
top
me go
left.
away.
It tells me that there's some zombies that are still around that I need to take care of. Which, yeah, obviously.
So each of the houses has a name. This is the Clarington house. Each of the houses is named after a character from a zombie movie. So I leave it as a challenge to the viewer to identify the zombie movies that these houses are named for.
All right, one left.
Yeah, this'll work.
There we go.
Let's claim this shit pile and move in pronto.
Okay, claiming this S pile. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the requirement. This one only requires you have one person. So you can always claim this base no matter what. There's no way you can not claim this base.
And now, home sweet home. So I'm going to walk over and drop my ruck in the storage area.
We need
Yeah.
some eyes out there.
All for one for all on Mixer is asking, for the love of crumb cake, will there be scoring or leaderboards? Right now, no. We introduced, we had a kind of a zombies killed leaderboard, I think, when the original State of Decay came out, but real scoring and leaderboards, we waited for the DLC, for Breakdown with the original game. And I think, we'll probably, we focused on, people having these, experiences with, in their own communities or with their friends. And as far as large scale competition goes, we're kind of saving that for potential future development.
There was a question that flashed by about a particular gun, something inspired by the Beretta 92, sort of the one you're used to seeing in movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And at this time, no, I did not make that one. Believe me, I will do as many as I possibly can. One thing that's vastly different in this game as opposed to the first one is we do not have 240, different guns.
Yeah, it took us a while to build up to that with the original game.
Yeah,
And,
so we have. What I will say about them, without Brian being here, is that each frame that I made, even though I didn't make as many, are much more versatile, and they have things like magazine changes, which we didn't have in the first game, and they do take up more memory when they have skeletal meshes, but each one is more detailed and more useful.
This'll come in handy.
I think you'll be fine, and I will always try to add more as we're allowed to. So.
for Powerful Game on Mixer says that there's a video they've seen on YouTube that says that there's actually some unannounced bonuses that go with the Ultimate Edition. There's some items you can get that when you order order the Ultimate Edition that don't come with the base game. And that is true. The store page doesn't reflect it, but there is some special stuff you can pick up. I think you get it through the radio menu. So
This is what I was
so go looking for that when you if you bought the Ultimate Edition. One person asked a question, and I'm not actually sure the answer. Is there a base in Cascade Hills that has 3 large slots? Do you know that offhand? Or is it, there's so many to keep track of. We easily could forget that kind of information.
Cascade is.
Uh,
Oh boy, I believe 3 large.
yeah. Like maybe the storage? The self-storage? Did that have 3 large? No?
No. I'll have to think about it.
Yeah, we're not sure about that one, but the main thing is like Brian and folks like they designed all of these bases so that each one had its own special offering. So some bases have a lot of versatility, have lots of empty slots. Other ones offer special bonuses you can't get anywhere else. And so you'll want to sort of explore around and figure out which base kind of suits your style. It could be that you'll want a smaller base because it gives you something that you in particular that really feeds into your strategy.
Right now, I'm trying to find a rucksack of materials.
Oh yeah, so
Because-
sheds are a good place for that.
Sheds and garages are a great place to look for materials this time.
Homes under construction are, I think, the best places.
Well,
to look
they
for
are.
materials.
Of course, they are. Some of the places that if you're not in an area that has those, definitely look in places like these sheds.
Duranda1 asked about PC optimization and like graphics settings and stuff. We do have a fairly full suite of graphics options. You can turn different aspects of the graphics on and off. Things like I don't remember what the options are, and I don't want to like spend our time going through a menu here. There's plenty of streamers who have. I think that information is to be had out there somewhere. But yeah, those we do have a fair number of options available so that you can tune the experience to your liking. Nicely done.
Got to manage your stamina here.
Whoa, Alfred Ben already got all of the house name references. So I would just say, hey, when you play the game, try to identify where the names of these houses came from, and Alfred Ben is just like on it. He's like got them all identified already. So congratulations, Alfred Ben. I wish I had something to offer you, but unfortunately, I don't. But you're amazing.
Hey, Sailor, good to see you. Bilbo, we'll see you. We'll see you very soon.
How IW asks, do people still go away on missions by themselves? Not really. In the original game, yeah, like that was one way we would try to sort of keep the population at home kind of low, is sending people off on their own missions, and sometimes they would get in trouble, and you need to rescue them in order to avoid, bad consequences for that character. Yeah, Brett's like, yeah, people are like, no, all the time you'd have to do that. So we don't have that kind of mission in this game. People do still do things like they'll say, hey, I was out scavenging for a while and I brought home some stuff. Like they'll do nice things, but it won't involve emergencies where you have to go rescue them or anything like that. We're trying to keep it, the big exciting trouble that you get into will mostly be you getting into big exciting trouble.
Yeah, so mostly they'll sit around doing this stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, thanks for being a productive member of society here. Actually, I don't even know what I'm doing. I need to switch over to my other character. I'm gonna, let's see. Is this this is a 45. How many? I got 18. Yeah.
Yeah, and you got 9. And you got 9 in the box too. So you got plenty of ammo for that guy.
I'm going to drop a lot of this stuff because I'm going to switch over to.
Let's drop off those materials in the other spot too.
And we'll do some.
Yeah, there's a change to the game, where in the original game you would drop everything off in one place, but here we've split up resources and items so that resources go to one place.
Let's talk about what we just saw here.
What happened?
So it indicated that these are all citizens. Each person builds up, I don't know what you guys call it.
Standing. Standing. That's right.
And eventually, as people build standing, they'll turn into heroes and possible leaders.
Yeah. So if you look in, yeah.
So sorry, I'll go back to that screen.
Yeah, so if you zoom in on Ava, so you can like go down to her standing where she's at citizen right now. So right now she's leveling up towards hero, and you can see she's got this locked hero bonus. Good example, which means that if she becomes a hero, if you get her enough standing, she's going to she'll make all of the actions at your facilities faster. So anything that takes time will take less time because she's in your community, and all of the characters offer something like that. If you want to scan left to right, you can go see what each of the community members offers. So like this guy Diego, when he becomes a hero, he's a social chameleon, so he gets along with everybody, and so he adds morale, and so so he's just going to make people happier. And Hayden, his hero bonus is setting the pace. Oh, so he also increases global action speed, and those two will stack with each other. So everything's going to get more than half again as fast once both Hayden and what's her name? Was she Ava? Did I remember? Ava, yeah. Once Hayden and Ava.
We can also take a deeper look at those traits we were looking at before.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, get a sense of who these characters really are. Like, so all of these descriptions of their traits are done in the character's voice, so you can kind of get a sense of what their personality is like and how they express themselves. So yeah, so talks to plants. I know from firsthand experience that plants really thrive when you have a relationship, and yeah, stuff like that. So, and this guy, he's into ultimate frisbee. It's great because you don't have to be good at it to have fun, unless you're me. Then you do. And he minored in chemistry, and he said he just had a crush on the TA. So you'll notice that his chemistry skill is not very high. Because he minored in chemistry and he's got that backstory about it, he doesn't have a lot of skill in chemistry. He just sort of knows a few things. He'll have to level it up over time. Other characters you find might have really advanced skills in chemistry, or even a specialized version of chemistry because of their backgrounds. Yeah, so she was a sales associate, and she rescued a puppy. I once literally risked my life because a puppy was in danger. Dogs, man, they need us.
And then this is an example of one of the things that's a detractor that
Oh, that's right.
that you also have to deal with.
Yeah, so because she has nightmares, she doesn't get enough sleep. Whenever she starts getting fatigued, because she's been out for too long, she gets fatigued faster than everybody else, and she has to get back home more urgently than other people because she just gets exhausted, and she's got less stamina than everybody else. So you'll notice her stamina is not up at 100 where most folks are.
So I am going to initiate some actions here. The bedroom. Let's run down and take a look at the bedroom here. It is a shambles. It's a mess. It kind of looks like my son's room.
Oh man.
So then the first thing I want to do is get some people cleaning that up. Let's see if I have enough labor. I don't. I have to get some more people to have some more labor to clear up some other areas.
Do we have enough materials to make like an infirmary or a workshop? Either one is good.
Yeah, we should definitely make an infirmary, and eventually I want to make a garden because I have a gardener. But let's fire up the infirmary. I did just increase the threat level, by starting a couple projects.
And check out our resources too, because I want to see. Okay, so right now, because we got 3 survivors, they're eating 3 food a day. If we end up recruiting more people, they'll have 4, 5, 6 food a day. And if we get somebody who's particularly gluttonous, they might eat more than 1 food a day just by themselves. And so, like, we had one guy who came through who is an ascetic, and he eats very little because he's an ascetic. And so, if we'd grabbed him, it wouldn't be 3 a day. It would be something like 2.5 a day or 2.25 or something like that. Yeah. But so we're going to try to fight that food devouring by getting ourselves a garden at some point.
Yeah.
But we're going to need to find some seeds to make that work.
And if I recall correctly, there was some ammo back at...
You need to get yourself a gun, right?
I ran downstairs without
equipping.
Without equipping.
English Bull asks, how many outposts can you have per base? So I don't remember. Let's open up the base screen and have a look at the outpost slots. So it's 2. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so you start with 2 outpost slots. You can see that over on the right side of the screen. But then when you upgrade your radio, there's like I think you can get up to like 5 slots. Or was it 4?
I know you can get 4.
Okay.
There may be ways to get more.
Yeah, I think you can level up your command center and then put 2 different mods on the command center that maybe each of them gives you another slot. So I think you can get up into the 4 or 5 range. If Brian were here, he would just know the answer off the top of his head. But this game is so huge, like no one person can know everything about it.
So let's see. I think I'm going to go back and get that ammo. Whoa! Ran into the door. Don't worry, dude. I'll go take care of everything.
Yeah, he looks pretty worried. Oh, or is he just whittling?
He might be whittling.
Was he our whittler?
He's swinging that fighting knife around a bit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna back away because that's just not safe.
Wasted Bagels wonders how the difficulty ramps. So as your community develops and gets more powerful, you'll hit thresholds where the difficulty goes up, and you'll end up seeing, the freaks will get introduced. You'll end up seeing more zombies, bigger, encounters with like hordes and infestations, and particularly plague hearts. Your encounters with plague hearts will get much more difficult over time. It is interesting. Like there's a lot of folks who've played a lot of the original game who are already like super pro level players, who get into this game, and they're already clamoring for more difficulty, and so we're listening to that, and we'll see what we can do over time. But yeah, for right now, I mean, there's definitely also a lot of people in the audience who are like, who are already talking about how they're losing, tons of characters, and we're trying to aim at a difficulty level that most people will appreciate as being, interestingly challenging, but not just completely destroying them at the same time.
This one would be any different?
Wannabe Gamer 22 asks, can you jump between maps? Yes. So once you've upgraded your command center, you get the option to sort of scout out other maps where you can live. And once you perform that action, map exits appear on the map, and you can take your just drive out to one of those and decide you want to to use a map exit. And it's basically you'll bring your community and all your possessions and all your stuff, and you'll settle down on this new map, and it'll be like starting just the same way you just saw us start the game. It'll be the same thing. You start on that brand new map. You go find your first base on that brand new map, but this time, because you've got an entire community and a bunch of influence and all this other stuff, you probably could jump right into a larger base and keep going.
I'm full up. I better run home. Eventually, I'll find a vehicle somewhere.
Dear God, I'm tired.
Uh-oh, she's getting tired because of her fatigue.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can see that her stamina meter down there is a little shorter than everybody else's. Most people start with a stamina meter that's about the same length as their health meter, but hers is lower. So building her up is going to be a challenge. You will need to have her run around a lot and build up her cardio. Might even want to like specialize her in marathon or something.
Yeah, that.
So that she
Some
can
way
overcome
you can
that.
offset some of those detractors.
Yeah, there's some limitations characters can have that can't be overcome, and there are some that can. And so she's got the kind of stamina problems that you can overcome by just training up the right skills.
Let's see.
Foxy asks, does this game have bosses? This game has special zombies that are definitely boss-type experiences. It doesn't have the same formal structure that a lot of games have, where you're like, okay, after you complete level 5, there's a boss at the end.
Right.
Like, we don't really have that. Like, it's all very open, very driven by your choices. So it's not like playing a Mario game or God of War or something where there's, like, a boss here and a boss there. But there are definitely some much tougher zombies that are a challenge to fight. Oh, folks are asking if the pre-order bonus vehicles can be upgraded to Apocalypse vehicles. I feel like those vehicles they're kind of upgrade level themselves. Like, you wouldn't want to upgrade them; they wouldn't get any benefit from it. I'm not even sure if you can, but if you can, I think it might not be worth
that's
it.
actually a really good question.
Yeah, I'll have to ask the folks who know that know the answer to that
Sadly, the guy in charge of vehicles is out of the country right now.
question. Yeah.
I mean,
So
good
it's
for
not working.
him.
Yeah.
He worked really hard and did a great job on those vehicles. Well earned. Yeah, not available for answer.
Dino Donta asks, how big can the health and stamina meters get? I don't remember exactly. I think we built the meters so that they can grow to a scale that
they do wrap. I believe they wrap. They're capable of wrapping up to the top of the.
Yeah, I think they can get like triple their size. So I think it would be very difficult in Rare to assemble a set of traits and skills that would actually get your health that high, or your stamina that high. But the bars are built to go pretty far.
So this is all well and good. I've done some scavenging. You guys have seen how it works. I'm going to go do something more interesting and probably very dangerous.
Oh, that sounds great.
Hopefully, I will find a vehicle or some fuel to.
Yeah, are there any? Should we survey? Like, should we look around and try to find a?
Yeah, because that's the mission I'm supposed to be on. So I'll run down and do that first.
It might make it easier for us to find some fuel. We can either fuel up our original vehicle or find another vehicle from a high vantage point.
Let's try and.
Gooniverse is like, protect Ava! They're all worried about Ava dying because she's so out of shape.
Oh, listen, I'm not good at this game, so Ava's gonna die. Let's just
Let's accept it now.
let's just accept that now, and then maybe we'll surprise ourselves by actually not having it.
Wannabe Gamer on Twitch asks, can you get bigger bags? Yes, you can.
Oh yes.
That you can get some. I actually kind of try to force myself to go the other way sometimes. Like by default, I just want to give everyone the biggest bag I can, so all my characters end up with huge hiking backpacks on. But yeah, no, you can totally have smaller bags, and sometimes I'll specialize a character in traveling light and just being really quick and having a lot of stamina in combat because they're not carrying too much, and those characters I'll use like ultralight packs and stuff on those guys.
So let's see where. Wow, they want me to go over here.
Nocturnal Undead asks, are you going to play together? Eventually, yeah, I think each of us is planning on playing co-op with friends and stuff like that.
Oh yes.
On this stream, we're not going to be playing co-op, though. I think there's Microsoft has got a stream planned on Mixer on Friday that is probably going to involve some co-op, so you can check it out there. Or there's a bunch of random streamers out there that who are playing co-op with each other.
Oh, that's a good. And for the record, along these lines, I have agreed in public to ride around in cars with Fallout Girl in her stream. So I can't.
So you could backseat driver her.
I can't sneak away from that fact now.
Foxy's asking if there is any character customization. No, there isn't. In big part because we want these characters to have kind of their own personalities and identities, and you can't. You'll notice as he's running around with this character, you can't really see her face most of the time, and so we kind of wanted to give them, sort of a unique. A very highly recognizable, unique part of their identity that you can always identify from far away. So, when it's kind of a difficult decision, how much customization to give versus how much distinct personality to give the characters. And we erred on the side of having these procedurally generated characters have more ways to sort of make an impact on you and be memorable. So,
well, yeah, and
Ava here in her outfit,
I mean, part of the deal with there's peddlers. Part of the deal with State of Decay is you gotta make do with what you got, right? And that includes people who survived the apocalypse.
Yeah. The Rare Camel asks, can morale get bad enough to the point where people start leaving the community and killing each other? They're not going to kill each other. We kind of, the original game had kind of too many events could get somebody killed off screen, and we found that players just didn't really find that fun or satisfying. So in State of Decay 2,
This location said free.
characters aren't going to get mad and just start murdering each other, but they will get into fights, which can tank your morale. And if morale gets bad enough, individual characters will start saying, "Okay, that's it. I want to leave.
I'm out."
And you get a chance to sort of win them over and bring them back in, into the fold before they completely just take off. But yeah, that's they will threaten, and if you ignore them or whatever, keep pissing them off, then eventually, yeah, they will leave the community.
Yeah, they'll take off, and they might join an enclave, and sometimes those enclaves are not exactly friendly.
Bloodmaster Link asks, "Is there a specialization for LMGs?" There are 4 shooting specializations. If you wanted to, use heavy automatic weapons, you probably want the assault specialization, because that's all about managing recoil. And it also gives you a kick ability, so if the zombies get too close to you, you can just kick them over. The other options are sharpshooting, which makes it reduces your sway. So when you're zoomed in really tight, it's easier to shoot. And they also are much better at dismembering zombies. And so if you've got sharpshooter and you just start shooting the legs off zombies, their limbs go flying. Gunslinging gives you the ability to actually snap aim to zombies' heads by pressing the A button or the space bar while you're aiming.
But we don't have pistol specialization or shotgun specialization.
Yeah, exactly. We tried to make each of the specializations broad enough that you might learn sharpshooting because you intended to use a sniper rifle. But if you're using an automatic weapon with sharpshooting, you can blow all the legs and arms off a bunch of zombies really fast. There's a whole bunch of different benefits you can get that we tried to make them very, very broad. So the last specialization is weapon handling, which means that you can maintain your weapons better, they'll last longer, and you can clear jams in the field. So when your weapon, when your melee weapon goes red, you just can't use it anymore. And normally when your gun goes red because of its durability, you also can't use it anymore. But if you've got the weapon handling skill, you can bring that gun back to life right there in the field. So usually, I'll often give weapon handling to my more stealthy characters when I'm making improvised suppressors that can tank your gun's durability really fast. And so I'll often give those guys weapon handling so they can maintain that gun, in the field. Oh, man.
All right, I'm not going to pick that up yet. I don't need it. But that was a tissue sample from a plague zombie that will become incredibly useful if any of your characters end up with blood plague.
Asimor is asking, the event in Seattle tomorrow, are we going to be there?
I will.
I'm going to be there. So I'm not sure who else in the lab is going to be there, but definitely 2 of us will. And we'll be running a stream out of this room. So you get to actually see this room firsthand, which will be interesting. So I'm going to leave all this equipment up because, holy crap, am I not going to try to go through the mess I went through this morning to get it all working. So we're just going to leave this right where it is, and you can come in and check it out.
Shit. You think that baby still runs?
There's a car. So I'm doing... players of the first game will recognize this screen.
We should break ground.
You
on an outpost over there.
get some very vital information. Oh, there's blood. Plague
At the
heart.
swine and bovine.
But I found exactly what I was hoping to find. I found a vehicle, and hopefully it has gas in it.
So
That's enough looking around for now.
one of my jobs on the project was naming all of these buildings, and so when you're looking around and you're seeing the names on all these things, it's like I had to come up with a unique name or a semi-unique name for every building in the game, and it was a kind of a fun challenge. I would just basically drive around, look at a building, and be like, "Huh, what does that building make me think of?" Like, I'll call that trailer with a smell. Okay, what's the next one? Decrepit White House. And sometimes early on in development, I had floating house, I had untextured house.
Look at this.
What? Oh, it's a Mega Max?
It's destroyed.
What?
So the first vehicle I find is wrecked.
So
but
we'll have to bring a
repair
toolkit
kit
out there?
Yeah, a toolkit. But we heard all of your cries of lament about vehicles in the first game.
Like how easy they were to destroy, just get bossed forever.
You can flip them over if they, except if you watched our last stream where I had the worst time trying to flip it back because I got it like centered on a rock that wouldn't let me actually interact with it. But you'll be able to flip them back for the most part, or and if a vehicle blows up,
You can still repair it.
You can go back and repair it. I need to find
Real quick things. So, rapid fire questions. Geek Domo asks, can you repair weapons? Yes. If you have a workshop, you can open up your supply locker and spend the parts resource to individually repair the weapons you want to repair. Or if you don't care about a weapon, you can just mulch it for more parts and use those to repair other weapons. Eminent Kid asks, will characters ever become drowsy? Yes, if you're running around with the same character for a long time, they'll eventually hit a point where they become drowsy. And now, everything they do with their stamina starts to make them more and more and more tired, and that stamina bar gets lower and lower until they become very difficult to survive with out in the field. So you got to get them home. Unreal God asks, can your community have children? No, we decide because everyone in your community can be killed in horrific ways.
Yeah.
That was very important to the game, and so it just didn't seem like a good idea to have children get killed in horrific ways. So,
State of Decay will never have kids in it as long as we're making that game.
and that was actually for a very similar reason why we early on decided not to have like pet dogs and stuff in the game, because to stay true to the nature of the nature of State of Decay, everyone in your community's got to be killable, and we just people have bad reactions to innocent dogs being butchered
People
by
being
games.
Us. There's no reason to have that. There's no.
If we were making Tokyo Jungle and it was all about trying to survive as a dog, sure, but just seemed unnecessary. We got enough death and horror in this game without that.
Yeah.
Foxy asks, can you get attachments for your weapons? Yes. There's suppressors, there's chokes, there's muzzle brakes, and there's also sometimes you'll get different versions of the same weapon that have different sort of built-in attachments to them. So you'll get like an AK-47, that's just got iron sights versus an AK-47 that's got an optic on it. And there's all kinds of varieties of different
To
things
answer your inevitable follow-on question, the only thing that you can change are the muzzle attachments.
Yeah, that's true.
We
For simplicity's sake.
Yeah, it's a UI nightmare that we decided not to try to tackle early on so that we could
Fucking hate plague hearts.
concentrate on other things. But Brian and I always hope that we can eventually create a
more to
system
see
that
here.
allows us to modify weapons.
Yeah, we got a couple folks at Mixer who are asking about future features, and while we can't really, confirm or deny any particular future features, we are planning on continuing to update and improve this game. So, we'll keep listening to folks who play it, and trying to find out, what will make the biggest difference to people's enjoyment of the game, especially once people are already playing it, and they really have preferences that are based on their experiences. We want to know how people are feeling about it, and we want to keep making it better.
I thought my sneaky move was gonna.
I feel like. Oh, hey, Geek Domo, by the way, I think you were asking earlier about whether the game still has the F word all over in it, and I think you just heard a confirmation from Ava that yes, the F word is in the game. And I realize, I'm sorry about that, because I realize that there are people who have very different collections of sensibilities about what they want to play and what they don't. You know, like some people are perfectly comfortable with violence, really uncomfortable with language, and then some people are vice versa. Some people are super comfortable with language, really uncomfortable with violence. And so we got both in this particular game. But we understand where you're coming from, and I know. Last time around, somebody spent a really long time making a mod that actually edited all of the bad language out of the original game. That was noble and heroic. I really appreciated that. The fact that people were customizing the game to make it more palatable to their sensibilities, and we totally respect that. Let's see here. So I've been paying. So Mixer has this nice feature where people who tag us get their questions bolded, so it's easier to see.
Oh, cool.
And so, but that means that I've been totally ignoring Twitch. So I apologize about that.
Well, I mean, anybody watching on Twitch is used to us ignoring them anyway.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, but I think they'd be extra annoyed.
We
that
love you
now
guys.
Mixer shows up, and suddenly we're paying all this attention to
We
Mixer.
love you guys. You know it.
Oh, yeah. Space Jamming's like forever alone. So Bloodmaster Link. We can't really talk about any future features we might add. We're definitely listening to what people want, though, and so we'll keep that stuff in mind. Yeah, folks are talking about the fact that the ESRB likes to give us nudity ratings because of the butt hanging out on the bloater.
We actually got away without that this time.
Yeah, I think people realize that there's really absolutely nothing sexual about that butt. Just absolutely nothing.
It's just gross.
It's just disgusting.
All right. I need the car because I'm bored.
So Y Studios asks, how much role does the army play after the tutorial? We don't want to give story spoilers or anything, but really, I mean, the army is like there's a background story in State of Decay 2 about kind of what's going on in the world at large. Mostly, it's delivered through the radio and through subtle cues in various places. And a lot of that stuff that's an ongoing story that we plan to keep developing through future updates and DLC and stuff like that. So there's that story, but really the story of State of Decay is about your community. And so even if regardless of what the army does or does not do, either way the story is going to be about your people. And the ending of your story is going to be about the end, the sort of final accomplishments of your community. That's really what the story's about.
Yeah, I mean, one thing about the different, the people being so individual is that you'll be able to create that story, right, and share it with friends and things like that. What I love to do, and one of the things that makes me love playing this game, even though I help make it, is that I get to fill in those gaps. I get to fill in the story where, here's part of the story. My melee weapon's about to break.
Yeah. Full Fury, nice way to get my attention. The surveying distance are not reduced at night. So you can. We didn't want there to be for people to feel like, oh well, I might as well just stay home when it's nighttime. The game is all the stuff you can normally do is still doable at night. Oh, hey, we found a new vehicle. That's good. Oh, yeah. 2. Okay, they can't all be destroyed, right?
No, they can't all be destroyed. Looks like a strip mall there.
Let's see here. Ransacked clinic, value wagon. I like value wagon.
That's enough looking around for now.
All right, time to get a car.
All right.
Let's check and make sure that they're...
Oh, this one's real close. The repair van doesn't have as much fuel. The Vagabond's one of the little guys, right? Oh no, that's the...
It's funny because I know them. I know them by their file names.
That's the four-wheeler. That's the four-wheeler.
Yeah, I'm going for the Vagabond because it's got more gas. Actually, that's why.
Yeah, and also it's the cargo van might be worth checking out because it might have toolkits in the back that we can use to repair that Megamax.
Yep. Oh, look at that.
Takuro Spirit, you just get a sense for those sorts of things. Takuro Spirit's asking, how can you tell how much fuel a car has by surveying it? And when you've been surviving out in the wilds by yourself for real, you just get a sixth sense about stuff like that.
I mean, Can't you judge how much fuel's in your car just by looking how settled it is on its tires? You call yourself a car guy. Come on. Jeez. It's a game. Come on.
Farmer Eve Fox, no, you can't skip the tutorial immediately on your very first playthrough. But the tutorial, if you're just playing through it quickly, it only takes about 5 minutes. So if you really wanted to do the game start that you saw here on this stream, play through the tutorial, see what it has to teach you. But if you want to, you can just quit right afterwards and start over again from scratch immediately, and it won't take you that long.
I am going to go check out that other vehicle just to see if it has good stuff in it.
So Datitude, right now, you don't choose the map that you start on when you're starting a new game, but we have identified that as a potential source of frustration for long-term players. So we're aware of what your reaction to that answer might be.
That's how you take care of some zombies. 3 shots, 3 dead. Oh, look at that.
Nice.
Exactly what we were talking about.
So, Arky Gamescast is asking, this car that you're driving right now, which might resemble a certain brand name vehicle, they're asking, is that thing available in the normal game? Yeah, this is the normal game.
This is the normal game.
Yeah, we're not playing some special dev version. We're not even playing the Ultimate Edition or anything like that. We're just playing straight up vanilla game. So anything you see in here,
Look,
you can
all or
have.
nothing.
Yep. And they'll
Yeah.
be in a variety of colors.
People are identifying that car as a jupe, as a meep. Undead Matt says, boop, boop, it's a jupe.
That's
Said boop,
we're
boop,
gonna go
it's
with
a
that.
Yep. Oh, hey, Cisco has, Sixico has learned how to get my attention. If my friend dies in my game and loses all their characters, will they have the choice to select a new set of characters? Yeah, so they will. I don't remember the exact flow of the UX. They might have, like, if they are completely out of characters, they might have to step out for a second, create a new community, play through the first 10 seconds of a new game, and then they can come back and use those characters in your game again. It's one of the costs of the fact that we wanted everybody in co-op to have skin in the game and be playing actual characters from their own save files. Is that you kind of need to have characters in order to do it.
Ooh, this looks like a military. It's a military stash. All right.
Yeah, Ultra Super Sky. The outposts are not really intended to be like traps for incoming hordes the way they were in the original game. Outposts are mostly places where you can drop off supplies when you're scavenging. They provide benefits to your community, and you can switch characters there.
Yeah.
The way that I use them in my game that I'm playing at home is I'll go to a place I haven't scavenged before. I'll find the most useful outpost I can in that area, and I'll claim that outpost first, and then I'll vacuum up all of the resources and stuff. Well, the resources will have to go in the back of a car, but all of the items and stuff like that in the area, I'll vacuum them up and drop them off in the supply locker at that outpost, and it makes everything way more efficient to have an outpost there.
And speaking of efficient, I'm going to show you something that you'll need to know.
Mm-hmm.
Parking spots.
Oh yeah.
It's not something we've really called out huge. These are well marked at each base, and the biggest single greatest benefit to this.
And actually, I should show them when you get back in the car real quick. I needed to make our faces disappear so they could see. Oh, whoops.
Let me take care of business here.
Oh, there you go. See, you see the word parked next to the word under the word vagabond?
Yes.
Whenever you're driving it, if you get in the right spot, it'll say parked on the screen. And if you're in the wrong spot, it won't say parked. So you can pay attention to that.
Where is it?
Yeah, I think it's when you're by the gas tank that it shows.
Oh.
Yeah.
I keep running by it.
There it is.
Parked.
Yeah, so it says parked up there.
So that will allow me to go back to the trunk, and I can transfer everything in the trunk to my base by hitting right trigger.
Yeah.
And that's a huge time saver. I'm not going to send the gas because I will need that.
Gas is useful.
I'm going to put that and that.
Foxy, we're not really officially answering questions about what characters from the original game might make an appearance in the sequel. I think at least one has been spoiled by people streaming the game, but we'll let you guys discover the story by yourselves.
So to refuel, I had to equip it, so I have it with me, and I'm refueling the Vagabond now, and now I can, she's been running around a bit, so I'm gonna actually switch.
Geek Domo
Yo,
asks,
I'm back and alive. What's good?
wants us to give a kind of a rundown on how co-op works. So on your machine, you've got up to 3 communities, 3 save games that you can run at any given time, and your friend has also got that. And so when you want to play co-op together, one of you decides, okay, I'm going to be the host. We're going to play in my world with my missions and my base and my like the enclaves that I know, because we got to pick one of them, right? So one of you is the host and is hosting people in their territory, and then other people will take one character from one of their actual communities
Seriously.
and bring that character into their friend's game, and they'll play in their friend's game. And so that character is at risk. Like, you could get that character killed in your friend's game, and then when you come back to your game, that character is dead. But also any influence that character gets, any experience that character gets, they'll be earning influence much faster than they normally do when they're playing in their friend's game. And any items that you drop in the supply locker, all that stuff is gonna stay with your saved game. So anything you've collected while you're playing as a guest in your friend's game is gonna be there waiting for you when you get back to your game. Plus some bonus stuff just for playing multiplayer.
All right, Diego needs to gear up, because he is now taking over. I'm going to take the noisemaker.
No, that's a pretty clever exploit. I like that. Hey, thanks, Kravax. See you later. Kolbache Harkos, I am saying your name wrong, says, if I'll play co-op with my friends, can we use 2 different maps at the same time, or do we need to travel together? What'll happen is you'll be playing in one map on your machine, and they'll be playing in one map in their machine, and then whenever one of you decides to go join the other one, you will leave your map behind, and you'll go play in their map for a while. And then if you want to, you can switch it up and do it the other way.
Damn it. Locked.
Yeah, it's player hosted. So.
And the reason for that is, like, the reason why explaining our co-op is a little bit difficult, because most games have a very linear story. Even open world games have a very linear story, a specific series of events that takes place that each player has to get through. And our game just doesn't have that. Every time you play, the people
just
that
got
live in your
tackled.
world, the infestations, the plague hearts, the characters you're playing, the base you're in, the missions that spawn, it's all completely different for every player. And so there isn't really one progression that everyone's following, and it's hard to, you couldn't, like, people have asked, well, can you save your progress in your friend's map? And I'm like, progress in your friend's map is just in a foreign map to you. It's like you're making progress in a place that isn't yours. So there isn't really a way to save it. Like, if you go and rescue this librarian from a bunch of zombies in your friend's game, that librarian lives in your friend's map. They don't live in your map. There is no librarian on your map. There's some other person having some other problem that's unrelated. And so, there's just nothing to save there,
So here's an example of 2 pistols. This one I found is the 9mm P220. This one is an Elite 45 version of the same gun, but it came with
with a brake
a
installed.
muzzle brake and a pistol sight, an optic, which lets me zoom in a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's some of your differences there between firearms.
Gilded Siren asks how we're streaming on both Twitch and Mixer at the same time. It's just an option that XSplit lets you do. XSplit is the only streaming software I've ever used, and so I don't know how it compares to other competitors like OBS. But and actually, I just realized that we might be having a little bit of hardware problems here. I'll fix that in a second. But anyway, so it's just when you choose your outputs in XSplit, you can choose any number of different outputs, and you can be doing them all at once.
A vector, which I'm going to take.
Okay, so we have been having an issue now and then with our streaming setup having poor performance. Looks like
Stuff is clear.
I felt like I was seeing it, but now it seems like it's back to normal again, so I won't worry about it too much.
Night should be turning to day sometime here, so that we'll be able to see a bit more. But this gives you an idea of, and this was a very definite decision on our part to try and make night a little bit more menacing.
Yeah, we're not going for that sort of like golden hour, dusky sort of night that like where it never really gets dark. Like because that's one of the things like people get used to what night looks like in a city where it's just never really all that dark. You know, there's between street lights and house lights and building lights and just light bouncing off the water in the air and back down to earth. It's just it never really gets all that dark. But when all that stuff is turned off, suddenly night is really, really dark.
Right.
And we wanted to really give that impression of it being, you know, after civilization.
Now, at some point, you'll be able to go power up your base in various ways, and at night, that turns on lights, and it will be a very noticeable change, and it'll make you feel a little bit safer at home, even though some of those options will create noise that might be the opposite of that.
Dan31 asks, if a friend dies in my game, can I loot the body or does it get returned to them? So when a friend dies in your game, they can respawn as one of their other characters, and that body, it belongs to them. You can't loot it. So we really wanted to avoid the motivation for people to grief each other by consciously getting somebody killed and then looting the body. So that's just not even an option. You can't loot bodies that come in from other games. They belong to their owners.
Oh, he didn't break his head.
So 30 and Still Gaming on Mixer asks, is everything on the maps procedurally made for each person's game? So there's kind of like a line, like the map itself, the layout of the map, you know, where the roads go, how the terrain is shaped, where the buildings are which, how they're all dressed out, the sort of the visual storytelling, all of that is baked in, and it needed to be to do the kind of like, you know, like I said, rich visual storytelling that our artists like to do. Like we needed that to be completely locked down. So the maps are the same in that regard. What changes up is, you know, exactly like which resources are found in which buildings and which resources are found in which containers. There's certain guarantees, like, you know, if you're going to a gas station, you're probably going to find some gas, and you know if you're going to a construction site, probably going to find some materials. Restaurant, probably find some food. But you never know exactly how much or what, you know, items you're going to get. So that stuff is very random. And then which characters are out there, what missions are going on, you know, and where the zombies are concentrated and settled. All of that is very, very procedurally generated. So that stuff will all be different every single time. But definitely don't expect a gas station to turn into a mini mart or something like that, or a construction site to turn into a hospital. Like that's not going to happen. That we weren't going to go that far because it would cost our artists too many of the opportunities they have to really use this medium to tell a story. And why do we have somebody in Mixer just spamming a number? That seems odd. Don't do that in Mixer.
Let's ban them.
I'm not sure how. So oh yeah, so Weagle One is not official enough a moderator to do that. I wonder if I've got a way to do that. Here's my viewer list.
They said they'd stop.
Oh, they said to stop. Okay.
Please don't do that.
Don't make me learn how to use this software.
Yeah, come on.
Seriously. You almost made me learn something, Ebe. So don't do that again.
Bat Derp, there's 3 different maps, each with their own sort of flavor, and then they are unique for sure. Though it is possible, let's say you finish the game once, to actually restart. If you choose to restart again, you can it may set you on the same map again. But
I think we try to prevent that, but I think especially once you've been doing it multiple times, you played each map multiple times, they're all kind of, you know, available.
So I was going to check a guy in to the infirmary, but he doesn't need it yet. Diego does not need treatment yet. So that's good. I'm going to switch back to him then, because I don't want to take my gardener out. He was sitting down. He's like, "Oh, I needed that rest," but Oh, darn it. I'm going to go out and see if we can find... Okay, we're starting to lighten up here. This is good.
Yeah, nice. And we are technically supposed to be done in like a minute.
Nah, we're going to let her run.
Yeah, I kind of want to keep going.
Yeah, we're going to keep going. I'm making the executive decision because
Okay.
there's nobody in here currently saying that we can't.
I'm so glad that they made you an executive. We need these kinds of decisions.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not technically an executive in anything, but you know what? We're just going to keep rolling.
Yeah, no, seriously. I can't think of anything better for us to be doing right now than playing this game with you guys.
That's right. I'll drive around the map a little bit to show you guys. This is what is the name of this map?
Oh, this one is
Meager
Meager
Valley.
Valley, yeah. Chris himself, no, there aren't any like customizable loot settings or anything like that for multiplayer. If you were watching people Chris is saying that he was watching people play in co-op and they felt like the loot that was given to the co-op players was disappointing compared to the loot given to the host. So I'm not sure exactly how that's tuned. Brian's the expert, and he could probably tell you all about the details of how that works and why they were experiencing what they were experiencing. It's very likely that any given experience you have with the loot tables is because of a random number generator and not necessarily because of a specific setting that we've got. But I know that like most of the like the big heavy duty resources and things like that for building bases, a lot of that will probably be focused on the host because they're the ones who are building a base in this map.
Yeah.
But I don't think that there's any particular rule that's preventing other players from getting good loot. So but we can maybe have a longer discussion about that the next time we've got Brian in here.
See if I can. I may not have enough influence to take over this.
Bloody Sparta, that question I just answered was from Twitch. I'm not ignoring you.
So let's see. Yeah, I don't have enough influence to take this over, but this is
man.
one of those
Yeah.
outposts that is really beneficial.
Oh yeah, a power
Base-wide
outpost.
power.
Yeah, it costs 2 fuel a day, so oftentimes I'll want to get a fuel outpost and this, to make that a little bit easier.
But power makes a huge difference in what you're capable of doing with your facilities and things like that.
By the way, I appreciate Undead Matt sort of backing us up in the Twitch chat. He knows the answers to a lot of these questions, and he's been catching some of the ones we've been missing.
I was trying to. This gun doesn't dismember very well, but yeah, one of the things you can do is shoot their legs off and then run away and just leave them there.
Yeah, and if you got like a high power, like a high caliber gun or a shotgun, that's really good at taking limbs
yeah,
off.
it just-
Or if you get the sharpshooting skill, then you get much better at shooting them in exactly the right spot. That it just blows their kneecap right off. We had a question on Twitch that I wanted to answer, and now I've forgotten what it was.
Yeah, just like real life, right there.
Oh, Jet Fury asked a question we answered earlier today that no, people, you won't see your characters just running off to go do missions by themselves and getting in trouble and making you rescue them. That was an issue in the original game,
And we got rid of it.
so it looks like we're having some weird stream performance again. I'm gonna take a quick break from Brant, from looking over Brant's shoulder here.
Please do.
And we'll sit here with the chat, and
We're
I just gotta unplug something and plug it back in so we can stream this sucker properly. Now and then I just gotta reset my capture hardware in order to keep it from making it look like our game has a worse frame rate than it does. So here we go. So Free asks, how many community members can go with you and you switch maps? Actually, all of them. So in Breakdown, which was one of the DLCs for the original game, where we kind of developed a lot of the ideas that led to the sort of the infinite play that you have in State of Decay 2, you could only bring like 6 survivors with you when you moved on from one map from one iteration of the map to another. In State of Decay 2, that's not an issue anymore. Like if you're moving your community from one map to another, you can just you can bring everybody, like your whole community, everything you own, it all comes with you. So you don't have to like carefully limit who you bring. Han Solo Dolo is wondering if we can show him with the game with the HUD off real quick. We can probably try that in a sec. Well, how about while I tried to reset some of my hardware.
They're not
Brant.
seeing the game right now, right?
Yeah, they're not seeing the game right now at all. So you go ahead and just mess with whatever you want. And
Well, I don't know how to turn off.
it's in the settings menu. And I think did I just cause like a massive slowdown when I just tried to change the setting there? Hopefully it's not too bad. All right, so rejoining Brant here. He's turning off tutorial messages.
I'll leave the minimap on, but
Just the minimap? Okay. So yeah, so here's the game with the HUD turned off. And you can see that, yeah, he's left the minimap on so he can find his objectives, but he could have turned the minimap off just as easily.
I'll do that because it was a request.
And we can still keep checking, the main map. So the Purple Saint asks, how long until release? So the game comes out. The game comes out worldwide for everyone on the 22nd of this month, so just a few days away. But if you pre-order the Ultimate Edition, you actually get the game 4 days early. You get it on this Friday, or even Thursday night, technically, if you count midnight as Thursday night.
Wait a minute, I turned off my crosshairs. Maybe that.
Our faces can be so many places.
I turned off our crosshairs. I can't.
They're not coming back. Do we have a bug with the crosshair?
It's gone. Oh, there
There
it
it goes. Okay, apparently it's linked with another piece of the HUD. Interesting. Khaki Penny asked, do you guys curse a lot off camera? It really varies from person to person. Brent got to hear me curse more today.
I know it was actually my eyebrows were raised a little bit. Jeffrey was not happy.
Yeah, normally I don't curse very much, but because of the hardware problems we were having this morning, and they were threatening to not let this stream happen at all, I was cursing up a storm in here. Basically, every single thing I tried was failing, and then as soon as we finally got one thing to work right, the very next thing would also fail, and I was just like pulling my hair out. If you can see, I only have like hair left on the top, because just pulling my hair out. But yeah, people around the studio are just very different. Some people are just curse continually like it's breathing, and then other people don't ever curse at all. Brant, not nearly. Yeah, there are definitely folks here who curse more than Brant does. But yeah, it varies a lot. I didn't curse ever as a kid, and I never really got good at it. And so when I do curse, I always sound really uncomfortable. So you can tell. It always seems like people are like, "Oh wow, you must be really upset if you're going to curse when you obviously aren't good at it."
Let's see.
Yeah, Night Tide, I'm glad we got the stream going too. I would have been very disappointed if I spent all morning trying to get the stream working and then had to cancel it. Batcat says they can't imagine me swearing. Well, I feel like it's probably a compliment. I'll have to start swearing like crazy on my personal Twitch channel or something, so that you folks can get used to it.
All right, so I wanted to switch over to the shotgun. I am so loaded down right now.
So it's your dad. If you pre-order the Ultimate Edition, if you pay $50 for it, then it releases tomorrow night at midnight. What the? I forgot about that.
I started up the noisemaker.
That's awesome.
But I also killed a bunch of zombies before I got
So there's
in
no
here.
one to hear it? So
they're coming.
Is that the classic philosophical question of like if a boombox goes off in the woods and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound? Anyway, it's your dad. But if you ordered the $30 version of the game, the version of the game that is not the Ultimate Edition, then that will release the 22nd. That will release this coming Tuesday. So either way, it's real close. So
I will. I'll give you guys a demonstration of how the shotguns are 1,000 times better this time. So now, if I'm being chased by a whole bunch of zombies, I can use the shotgun to slow them down and give me some time by blowing their legs off.
So that guy, his reload animation, you'll notice, is pretty slow. It's because he's pretty brand new. He hasn't leveled up his skills yet. If you actually give him the gunslinging skill, his reload times will go way faster. Oh, hey, Night Tide says that they've actually, they were partnered on Mixer, and they actually have been playing the game as a streamer. So I'm glad you've been liking it, Night Tide. It's been so useful and fun for us around at the office to watch people on Twitch and on Mixer playing the game. And you know, there's some places where people, you know, run into problems. We're like, oh, crap, and we're, like, writing bugs for each other. Like, oh, we got to fix this, we got to fix that. But most of it has been just watching people have fun, you know, going around slaying zombies and surviving. And it's just been a massive relief after, you know, years of work on this to just be like, finally, people are getting to enjoy it. People are getting to play it. So it feels pretty good.
All right. I am getting text to get my butt back in and help some people.
Oh, so should we actually end the stream the way we're supposed to?
Yeah, I probably should.
All right. Well, let's definitely quit out of here because we want to get back to this community. Maybe I'll play these guys a little bit more at home.
I better slow
Use
down
them for.
deep in Zeds.
All right.
Or maybe we'll continue with this group when we. So tomorrow night we're gonna have a community event here at the studio, and we're probably gonna be streaming from that event. So we'll continue the story of this community then. But let's get this guy out of trouble, and then we'll quit.
All right. I'm gonna have him climb up here.
Oh yeah, he could live up here for a long time. Looks like somebody has been.
That's right.
All right, we'll quit there.
Thank you all.
Yeah, no, thank you everybody on Twitch and also everybody on Mixer. Like, this has been incredible, and you know, we love the fact that you guys are getting to see this game, that some of you are even getting to play it, and that all of you will be able to play it within a week.
Very soon.
This is crazy.
Thank you. A huge thank you to our OG SOD fans for sticking with us, and a warm welcome to people who have just joined us for the first time. We love our community. We love to talk to you guys, and we're just so excited to finally get this thing out in the wild in your hands. We do want to hear what you feel about it. You know, we always want your impressions so that we can try and make this thing better.
Yeah, the release date is not the end. We're going to keep updating this game and supporting this game, and so all your feedback is going to be really valuable to us. And yeah, we look forward to. I mean, tomorrow night we'll be streaming this some more, so we'll see you guys then. And yeah, thanks for coming.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.